control, no overwhelming feelings of rage.
No! A normal amount of rage!
You do revert back to Gen form when you sleep.
Was the air horn really necessary?
For comedy, absolutely. This is a multi-year journey you're about to embark on.
Yes.
Yeah. Who's your best friend?
Nikki.
Spandex. Spandex is your best friend. Being a Hulk asks for balance. You have so much more to learn. Yes!
So I'm clearly nailing it at all these things.
If you want to go back to your life as a lawyer, I respect that.
He doesn't mean that.
More and more eccentric superhumans are coming out of the woodwork. We're going to launch a division for them. And I want the She-Hulk to be the face of it.
Jennifer Waters. Namaste.
I have a serious conflict of interest. This man tried to kill my cousin, Bruce.
Yeah, that's quite all right.
Oh. People only care because I'm representing Emil Blonsky. I think they care because they're like, hey, that girl's great. Jen, do your thing. God, I really like this outfit. I'm not proud of this.
Miss Walters, we answer to a higher power. Our universe is on the edge of a precipice.
I am a lawyer. We do things by the book.
The Book of Ashanti.
No, the Book of American laws.
Whether you like it or not, you're now a superhero.
Let's do this. You know that friend you had in high school who was way cooler than you were attractive, got all the attention from everyone? Hello.
I think I'm jealous. Is that what I'm feeling?
Hello and welcome to the periodic table of awesome. I'm sorry, I just need to just brush off all of the salty tears of all of the angry men. I just
Men or crybabies?
Well, they're possibly the same thing. I mean, but you know. Hi, I'm Quinny.
Hello.
And who are you?
Don't do this thing again.
Well, Quinny, I would like to rage.
Oh,
Come on.
Good day, you critters.
It's an appropriate shirt.
Yeah, it's my rage shirt because I'm raging about the show and we can't wait to hear my opinion. No, I mean, you know,
I could wait.
As a
middle-aged
middle-aged white man, you're all waiting for my opinion on this show, which is definitely not for me. Or maybe it is for me because I
think
like
it's
it.
for everybody.
Sure.
Yes.
Why not?
Because that's what feminism is. Feminism
Rated
is actually
E.
for everybody.
Yeah, rated E for everyone.
Yes.
It's a crazy concept. I love it.
Oh, dear.
How are you,
And
Jill?
I am Jill. I am the token woman of the podcast.
Oh, no.
Oh, token? No such thing.
Look, it could have been two men talking about the show because I'm quite sick right now, but
Yes.
I'm hanging in there.
Jill is the MVP of this entire thing. But we,
I was thinking, like, because I caught up with Jill last night and we went and watched See How They Run, and he wasn't well. And I was like, oh no. And we know that Peter is currently on a plane.
She's winning Emmys all over the globe.
She's just like attending things in New York and things like that.
Yeah, being the coolest of all of us.
Yes.
But at the same time, not fucking here.
Yes.
So,
yes,
as
Doc
such,
Forrest, there is no industry tonight because the industry is currently industrying.
Yeah, being industrial.
Being industrial.
Yes.
Currently
yes,
attending the
industrious.
things.
So yes, she is away being amazing. And I also saw Jill, and I was like, "Oh no, you're not well, are you?" And I thought it's going to be a real awkward fucking show if it's two dudes talking about She-Hulk.
Well, I mean, we could plead our cases to Jill. You know,
Yes.
that's a lawyer.
And I go, la, 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 la.
That's a lawyer themed show for this evening. We're doing Quinny and Dion plead our cases to Judge Jill.
Okay, so hang on. Are you for the defense or the prosecution?
Wait, which is which?
Well, in defense of the show, or are you prosecuting the show?
Damn it, Dion, you've been to court.
you know this. You say,
should know what
I
you're doing."
plead guilty. No.
No, that's what the guy said I shouldn't be saying.
Oh, God damn
I
it.
said it's my first offense and I'm a junior and both sides. Meth should be legal. Anyway.
Oh dear.
I'm just really concerned, but I do like that this should be a new section, which is called Judge Jill and Executioner. I don't want to be Judge Judy and Executioner.
Yeah, look, I'll plead in defense. You can be the attack dog then, Quinny. Go for it.
Oh, fuck, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Let's flip this table.
fine.
You can be. I want to be the Titania of this thing.
Hey, well, hang on. If I'm the one who's attacking the show, then probably I'm going to be the Titania. If you're in defense of the show, you're probably, I don't know, the good guy.
I don't know. I didn't learn very much legalese from this show. Like, I'm pretty sure that a lot of the legal terminology used in She-Hulk Attorney at Law cannot be used in a court of law.
One of our regulars who has been around for a long time, Magnus Darkrider, is a lawyer, and and has had some very, very strong opinions about this show and how badly it fucks up the legal side of things.
Oh
And
my
I'm like,
God,
I don't care.
a giant green person who has superpowers in a superpowered American court isn't believable.
But yeah, I
Also,
mean, from a legal standpoint, it doesn't matter.
Elves can't be black.
What?
No, it's so dumb.
Okay. Right. So I just want to know, who's read a She-Hulk comic? Oh no! Oh no!
Even though I am aware of the She-Hulk character, but I have never read a series of She-Hulk comics. I have read many West Coast Avengers comics.
Right. I'm going to have to put my hand up to it and say I've never read anything with She-Hulk in it because she's not a character that I've run into. Jill?
I've not read a She-Hulk comic. I've not read a comic with She-Hulk in it. And honestly, don't think it matters to watch the show.
No. I mean, everybody, I find it interesting when people have read the stuff because then they get a preconception or they have a feeling as to what they think the show should be. And look at us coming in clean. We got no preconceptions. All I can go on is what people have said, and that, you know, in the comics she breaks the fourth wall, and
okay,
yes. So this is the thing. It's one of those ones that is, I think, a little bit more comedic, or at least fitting in that world. But I don't know whether that started, right from the get-go, or whether or not it was in the 90s after somebody had watched Ally McBeal.
Yeah, I mean, I got strong Ally McBeal vibes from this.
Yeah.
But I also know that,
strong.
She-Hulk is a cool character in the comics.
Certainly a big, powerful character. The thing I found probably the most interesting about this one is her history, because... and I'm sure you all kind of saw a bunch of posts around it, but people going, "Oh, you're all getting upset," and there's been a lot of people going, "Oh, you're all getting upset about this show." Are we? I don't know, but you're all getting upset about a storyline about IP infringement, and that you think that's dumb. I don't know. I can't even remember who I saw posting it, but it was one of those things of everybody's getting upset about the IP infringement storyline and thinking it's dumb, but in fact, that's where She-Hulk came from. And I was like, huh.
Great.
Well, not technically.
I
mean,
no.
They created her character so there wouldn't be an IP infringement.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sounds like a lot of people got their story mixed up.
Well, yeah. I mean, essentially same kind of thing, but yes.
Yeah, the deal was they made a She-Hulk because the Hulk TV series back in, was it the 70s?
89.
right, was
Yeah.
extremely popular. And at the time, there was also the $6 Million Man, and they made the Bionic Woman. So they're like, well, before the TV networks make a woman Hulk, let's bring her into the comics. So we've got the rights to it.
Yeah.
So really,
Oh.
it wasn't an IP lawsuit. It was a let's get on top of this before there is one.
Yes. Which, I mean, is kind of entertaining that is in the DNA of the character, is
Yeah.
all about keeping your shit safe.
I kind of like that. That's
Yeah.
kind
So
of
do I.
funny.
I mean, it's just Stan Lee being pragmatic as usual.
Yeah, like, you know, let's not talk about the entire like history from the 50s all the way through to the 90s of just stealing each other's characters across between Marvel and DC. Nah.
Exactly.
No. I like it though, because and I've actually seen the film that they're talking about. So by the time that this was all happening, the Hulk TV series had basically run its course, and it had run out of series. They were just doing these sort of standalone movies, and the very last one was called The Death of the Incredible Hulk, which the intent was that it was going to kill off the character of David Banner and introduce She-Hulk to be able to continue on the thing, because I think there was something to do with, it was going to get cancelled anyway. She then apparently didn't appear, and the spin-off show that she was going to get didn't happen, and it was going to be Bridget Nielsen playing She-Hulk.
I know that name.
Married to Sylvester Stallone at one point.
Oh.
Ivan Drago's wife from Rocky IV. Or maybe
Red
it was
Sonja.
Dolph Lundgren. Maybe I got myself. Yeah, look, Bridget
No,
Nielsen.
you were right. She was in Rocky IV, definitely.
Yeah. I'm not sure if she was married to Sylvester Stallone. That may be the wrong thing. But anyway, tall, blonde woman with a crew, like a, crew cut haircut kind of thing going on.
So and that was back in 1989. But also, I'm trying to remember whether it was Death of the Incredible Hulk or whether it was, I think it's the Trial of the Incredible Hulk, which also, in keeping with all of this stupid Marvel shit back in the day, introduced both Thor and Daredevil. No, it's of course it's the Trial of the Incredible Hulk, because who's the fucking lawyer?
Jennifer Walters.
And it's
was
the
she
worst
the lawyer?
version of
No.
Thor you can imagine too.
He has a tiny hammer.
He has got such a small hammer.
Which was quite fun. And we're not talking about that, though. We're talking about this TV show. This this latest offering from Disney, because it's not the end. There's more coming. But
it will go on forever.
One that was a kind of an interesting one when it was announced. Remember, it was only announced like a couple of years ago, wasn't it? During the
I can't remember.
Those phase things, like, oh, we're having a She-Hulk TV series, and everyone went, oh, okay, yeah, I can do that, because Hulk, or who's the guy who plays Hulk? Sorry, his name just
Mark Ruffalo.
Mark Ruffalo is getting on and probably doesn't want to have to play the Hulk again. Very much.
He likes playing the Hulk.
I think he does too, because he doesn't.
He's loving it.
Yeah, because he doesn't have to do too much really. But he will fix it in post. Absolutely, everything's all in fucking post. But this is kind of one that crept up, and I was like, that could be very interesting. And when it came out, I sat down to watch it, going, this should be interesting, and it has been fun.
Jill, could you maybe tell us, because Casper has even asked, and I love that the chat's nudging us, going, synopsis.
Guys.
Oh, come on.
We can run our own.
Do you want
show.
some?
I know.
Do you want some music in there? Wait, we can.
Yeah, give me a soundtrack.
Shall I twerk?
No. Sorry, I didn't mean to say it that quickly. In She-Hulk, attorney at law, Jennifer Walters, played by Tatiana Maslany, an attorney specializing in superhuman-oriented legal cases, must navigate the complicated life of a single 30-something who also happens to be a green, 6-foot, 7-inch superpowered Hulk. In case you didn't know.
Yeah, in case you missed that particular bit.
Oh dear.
Sorry, I'm also still dealing with. We are both the sick.
Dear.
Like I'm coughing, you're sneezing. Dion, you are the only one that is actually 100% tonight.
You two are both ill, and I'm fine. But like, I know that by the time I've said that I will come down hard with the sickness very soon, probably.
Well, I have been licking you a lot, so.
Ew, I don't want to know what you guys get up to.
Hey, it's work.
The work days are long.
Also, that's not where that's not how it should be going, Quinn. If I want to get sick, I've got to start licking you. That's where we're going wrong.
True.
Anyway, that got weird for a She-Hulk review.
It did, didn't it? So I got to say, when the first trailers and stuff came out for this, I was a little bit cagey. Not because of the content, but because of the gigantic uncanny valley.
I know that was a big problem for a lot of people, but I couldn't see it in the trailer. But it wasn't until the episodes where it looks like a being just kind of floating in the area of everybody else with no real like weight or like grounding whatsoever. That was when I was like, oh.
Yeah. It's one of those ones that I like. I mean, it's difficult to do photorealistic, humanoid characters at the best of times. It's fucking near impossible to do it on a weekly TV budget.
I just don't understand. Well, I don't know. Why couldn't they find a very, very tall person to wear the clothes and walk in the scene and then just shoot out the face?
That's a good fucking question.
Why couldn't they find a 6-foot woman? It's not like they don't exist.
But they do.
And then just like,
but they do have
change the face.
They do have that stand-in. There is a She-Hulk stand-in.
Okay, but then why does it look kind of crap a lot of the time?
I've seen a lot of Tatiana in like the motion capture suits standing on stuff. It's not quite the same thing.
No, I see. Like there is actually a model who's a stand-in who's the same height and dark hair and stuff. So yeah, I mean, like I can't defend the CGI in She-Hulk, but I also know that the CGI isn't the point of the She-Hulk TV show, and also I'm down for that because if you can get past the dancing baby from Ally McBeal, you can get past the occasional uncanny valley. Although I think they did a spectacular job on her hair. She-Hulk's hair
always looks amazing.
Yeah.
But the rest of it is a little bit like, wait, not so grounded.
Yeah. And unfortunately, I mean, this is one of those times when we start talking about the grind, the crunch of production for TV and for the Marvel TV stuff. That there's a lot of talk about how much pressure gets put on the different companies to produce, a fucking photorealistic 7-foot or 6'7" green person on a weekly TV budget, when it's multiple different effects companies doing it, and shots are changing at all times. I feel for them. I feel for them a lot.
Yeah, there's immense pressure in the CG departments when it comes to working with Marvel.
Something that's coming up quite
they're doing
often.
what they can. I think we just have to kind of ignore that part.
and the thing is, a lot of the time, I don't give a fuck. Like,
yeah, that's not what I'm watching the show for. I'm watching for the story and for the connective tissue to everything else.
Yeah, and I'm looking for the comedy. I'm loving the comedy.
I love that it's just having fun, and that's kind of been one of the things that I kind of put it on. It took a little while to get into a rhythm with it. Like, I mean, it's not a faultless show. I didn't just put it on and be like, oh, everything about this is amazing. I just watch it and I go, oh, this is a great, a little bit of time I can spend, because they're only 20-minute episodes. They come on, they do their thing, they go off, and then you go like, oh, yay. And then you're like, oh, but you didn't have a stinger at the end. Fuck this episode.
Yeah, the last two haven't. The last two were a lot shorter than the first 4. So.
Yeah, I was just like, God damn it, give us a stinger.
I like the stinger.
Yeah,
we all love the stinger.
I actually really love
Gave me the stinger.
the ending title cards. Like,
Oh yeah, the drawing ones.
The art each week is really cool.
And I mean, I love that changes each week as well, and we get little additions or changes and fun things. And I think the one I think it was 2 weeks ago, that was the shoes.
Madison. Oh, the shoes. Oh, yeah.
Pug and his collection of superhero themed shoes that the internet went fucking mad for, because he's got shoes of the Thing, he's got shoes of Wolverine, he's got shoes of fucking Ghost Rider, and you're like, okay,
like, calm down, it's just a picture.
Yeah, but it was fun.
I know. People go, oh my god, that must exist in the real world. I was like, no, it's just an artist having fun.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the Ralph Boner of this show.
Yeah.
Oh my god, but Karina brings up an amazing point. I want an Avengers t-shirt.
Oh god, yes.
Not Avengers. I want
not
Avengers.
No, Avengers. I would love to have.
This is kind of the thing that I'm really loving about all of this. When I say She-Hulk is a fun TV show, She-Hulk is just there to do all of the fun things. Like, there's no wrong jokes or wrong answers in there. And also, I love it's done lovingly and sympathetically, because it's very easy in these shows to talk either down to the audience or play something up to sort of a shitty laugh. Like, this one could have very easily gone into the Big Bang Theory kind of world. Yeah, but what it has actually done is presented everyone that's come on screen with a lot of heart, which is very difficult to do. Or maybe they just got the right lightning in a bottle, because everyone in the show, even if they're awful, they still have a little bit of heart. Like, I mean, you know, I wondered where it was going when it was setting up like Jen's massive dating disappointment, and then it comes back in the next episode, and you're like, oh, every single one of her ex-boyfriends was, or ex-dates, sorry, not boyfriends, dates, is a terrible human, but also that has a point.
Yes.
You know, and it's kind of like, and my favorite side character at the moment, which is Madison.
Oh, fuck everybody's favorite side character.
Well, no, I mean, when she turned up, I was just like, oh, this is going to be terrible. This is just such a piss take. And by the end of it, like, oh, she's terrible, but she's got heart. Like, you've got to love you've just got to love her craziness, because she's got heart.
Well, whether she's got heart or not, she's still fucking hilarious. That's the thing.
Yeah.
And you know that you've hung out with her or somebody very much like her.
No, I feel
possibly in a bar, possibly at 3 a.m.
I feel like I've met that person and dismissed them, and then have lost the opportunity to have a very kind-hearted, sweet friend. That's what I realize. It makes me go, you know what? I need to be less judgmental in meeting people.
Absolutely.
Why not?
And shout out to Karina for where's our Madison and Wonga's Gogglebox spin-off show.
I would watch that.
I would watch the fuck out of Madison and Wonga's on the couch watching like all of the.
No,
the
as I said,
TV.
I want to see a house party of all of the side people, or the offshoot, the C team, where, you know, they're all having a house party, you know, except the heroes uninvited.
Yes.
You know, it's just like all of them hanging out at like someone's apartment having a nice little party, and it's just like, oh yeah, no, there's no one here that you know.
Yeah, no. It's like what's his name from WandaVision, the FBI agent, and Jimmy Woo. Yeah.
Just like all of those people, all the people that when the fight is happening between the two superheroes, there's all of their friends standing on the side going, so, do you want to get a beer after this? Like when they finish fighting, you know?
Yeah.
That would...
And Luis saying,
Darcy.
oh man, you should have seen it. This was amazing. And then Ant-Man, he said this. And...
yeah, Darcy, everyone. Like, they're all just hanging out in an apartment having a catch-up. And it's just like, and there's Madison and Wong.
Yeah. I've loved being surprised by every episode.
Yeah.
Because, you know... there's a lot of it that you kind of like, okay, we're going to do, there's things that we knew were coming. Like we kind of knew that Wong was going to, I mean, we'd seen trailers, you know, but we knew that Tim Roth was going to be there. We knew that Wong was going to be there because of that whole thing from Shang-Chi.
Yeah.
But then there's a whole bunch of other shit that they throw at you and you're like, oh, what, fuck, right, okay, wasn't expecting that. That's amazing.
Like what? Example.
like Donnie Blaze.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah.
I love that because it's just so fucking lame.
Shit
Um,
magician.
Yeah, and all of the callbacks to Wong, but also the other characters. I think to me the other characters that are operating around Jen are doing a really good job of building out the world.
I honestly believe that it's such a strong cast of characters besides Jen.
Yeah.
Like, I love Ginger Gonzaga as Nikki. Like Nikki
she's great.
is such an underrated character that is doing so much in the background, and I love her. And I love Mallory. I know we've only had her for 2 episodes so far, but I love Mallory.
Yep.
Pug is great. I'd love to see more of him.
Yeah. And then even like in the latest episode with all the wedding stuff, like the characters that show up in there, you've met them at some point. And the girls that she meets in the bathroom, I think it's in episode 1.
In episode 1. Yeah.
Like all of the characters are written in a way that are quite sympathetic and quite understandable. And okay, I'd say all of the female characters are written in a way that is sympathetic, understandable, and human.
Well, I'm going to put that down to the showrunner, Jessica Gao, and I'm going to give her a huge shout out because I have never once watched a TV show that has spoken to me so realistically that contains superheroes. It's honestly refreshing, and it's nice to be acknowledged as a 30-something woman myself to the bullshit that we put up with on a day-to-day basis and the people that we meet. Like the woo girls in the bathroom that are like gonna take care of you if you're like not okay. They're there. They exist. Yeah. The bitches at the wedding that like haven't seen you in ages that like want to lift you up when you're at your best, but then there's the one that wants to take you down a peg because she wants to be the center of attention.
It's her day.
Yeah, like. For me, my favorite episode was the latest one, episode 6, because I am that person. I am the person that has to be something to everybody, Like Jen is trying to please all people, and it's near impossible to be that kind of woman. You got to stay in the background because you got to let someone else shine, but you also want to be center of attention yourself because you're worth it, and
because you're a fucking She-Hulk, and it's amazing.
No,
I'm talking about you, Jill. You are a fucking She-Hulk. You're fucking cool.
Thanks, Quinny. Like, I mean, every woman deserves to feel seen, and I really feel for Jen, especially like after that courtroom episode where she had to hear from these terrible dates, and there's the one guy that's like, I wanted She-Hulk, not her, and it's like, fuck, that just gutted me. Like, I know it made Peter cry. She mentioned that because it's like you're just not all things to all people, and you have to live true to yourself. And I'm really feeling that with Jen and this show, and I love She-Hulk. I fucking dig this show so much.
Yeah,
because it really speaks to me.
The thing I'm fascinated by, and I agree with everything you say. Fucking hand up to it. Yeah. The thing I find fascinating is the way that it's presenting a cavalcade of unhealthy men as well. Like you're exploring so many different elements of the female interaction, the friendship groups, the positive interactions, the negative interactions with other women, but also pretty much every man that she comes across has got some element of a toxic or negative trait that you're like, oh, Jesus.
Including...
And you go.
I was going to say, including Bruce Banner.
Yes.
Like from the very episode at the start there, he's a dick. Because he's like, you can't have mastered this. It took me so long. How can you get this immediately? It's like, I'm a woman. I know how to control my emotions.
Yeah, we do it every day.
And it's such an interesting idea because he's been presented as the big hero for so long. And we've seen all those elements of him. But that's an archetype for her, which is the mentor, and the mentor who doesn't actually want you to succeed. There's an unhealthy male relationship.
Yeah, or doesn't think it's fair that you can do it quicker than they can, or
anyone who's played a video game with their girlfriend and then the girlfriend has kicked their ass and they've gone, no, you're cheating.
Never happened to
You
me.
know?
Yeah.
And then you get all the other relationships. So her boss, who is wanting to use her because what she can do and what she is, but doesn't recognize her value at all. You get the fucking dipshit lawyer, whatever his name is. I can't remember.
Her old co-worker from the previous law firm that thought he was dating Megan Thee Stallion.
Yes. who is clearly like every
Delusional.
fucking delusional, but also a complete misogynistic fuck stain.
Yeah.
Her dad, who is lovable, but at the same time overprotective and, doesn't recognize that she's grown up.
Yeah.
Is it her cousin, Chad?
Yeah.
Dude, not living in the real world.
No. But I mean, if you name your kid Chad, you're going to get a Chad.
And I was thinking about it for a while and I'm like, what's wrong with Pug? But then I realized in the Avengers episode.
Yes.
Like, I hate to say it because in that moment I felt horrifically seen. That Pug, lovely, supportive guy who's helping out and everything like that, but also fucking developmentally stunted and is like, he's playing with his fucking toys. and he is not a grown-up, fully, realized person. He is there, he's spending hundreds of dollars on his fucking shoes.
He's the most non-threatening man in the whole show.
He's non-threatening, but at the same time, not exactly a positive, masculine kind of role model.
That's your perspective on masculinity, though. Like, it can be a very many things.
This is very true.
Yeah.
Very true.
Maybe you need to
maybe I need to check myself.
Take a look at your own misperceptions on masculinity. No, I'm not reading
whilst
you.
playing with my kids.
But like, give Pug a break.
No. I just found it interesting looking at all the different characters and working out what they meant.
Yeah, I mean, I want to shout out to Mallory, who's the woman that has to put up a front because she thinks that that's the only way she's going to make it in law is to be a cold, hard ice queen. But she, when you get to know her, is like a person, and she can connect with others and she has a life outside of law. And, she gave Nikki a chance and now they've connected. And, she gave Jen a chance and they've connected. Like, there's so many great female characters in the show as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And sorry, I don't mean to take away from the strong female characters.
I'm not.
Found it fascinating looking at all of the different kind of ways that masculinity is explored in its worst ways. Like, you get to Donnie Blaze, who's a dickhead.
Yeah.
You get Wong, who is essentially a good guy, but is also somebody who just disappears. Like,
a flake.
he's a flaky dude. We love Wong.
I feel like the show is a very good mirror to the real world, but being dressed up as a superhero show. And I think that people that aren't really giving it the time to understand that are really missing the point entirely.
But then again, there's an entire fandom full of dudes with beards and stuff who have probably been missing the point entirely for a long fucking time.
I went to a convention on the weekend and I have to say that the amount of people I spoke to, and like there really is only one kind of person that goes to events like that, disliked the latest episode. And I'm like, let me tell you why you're wrong.
It did exactly what it said on the box. I like that. It was like, well, this is an interesting filler episode. I know this one's going to seem weird, but anyway, it's important. And when you did watch it, you're like, oh my God, yeah, that's totally someone trying to discover their own identity and find purpose without having to, someone who's having trouble. We already got two identity. Like, this is the thing. You've got Jen and you've got She-Hulk, someone already fighting with who do they want to connect as and how do people perceive them. And then being forced to try to minimize that problem when they're at this thing. And it was more complex than people gave it credit for, I think. Yeah. But also lots of fun because these are very quick and very fun and they're enjoyable.
I want to say hi to Born with a Beard in the chat. First time chat. Welcome.
Oh, hey.
I think you're, on the money there with like why so many guys can't connect with the shows because there's no male characters to admire, and they're all hanging out for Daredevil. And I feel like they're really missing an opportunity to empathize with women, and that is probably why they're all single and don't have girlfriends.
And it's interesting because the Hulk is such, the whole concept of the Hulk is totally a male power fantasy. I am upset. If my emotions, get out of control, I will turn into a giant killing machine full of rage that nobody can stop. And if you make me angrier, I'll get stronger. That is pure fucking male power fantasy.
Yeah.
And I think this version of She-Hulk, and I don't know whether it's the other one in the comics is not, is in so many ways a female, not necessarily power fantasy, but a female fantasy of around people that support me. I am capable of being two things at once. I am capable of being successful and adored and, powerful and, all of these things. And I can be all things to all people. And could you imagine that if that's the takeaway at the end of it is that, your ultimate fantasy is you can have it all.
Yeah, I love seeing Jen's journey so far, like 6 episodes in, her, starting to realize, the mechanics of what she's working through, and can't wait to see how it goes.
Absolutely. I've enjoyed it, and I love sorry, that every episode I'll look at new rock stars and stuff like that, and they're digging in and finding all of the real, weird, obscure shit and everything. So for all of the neckbeards out there, there's still stuff in there for you. You can still have a great time trawling through it and finding all of your obscure stuff.
Yeah, all your little Easter eggs.
But if you take the time, you may actually find something else.
Yeah.
What a crazy concept.
Do we want to speak any more about this, or do we want to head into spoilers?
I say we do a quick rating and then do a clip and then on to spoilers. But I'm willing to turn that over to the judge.
Yeah.
I rule for ratings and spoilers.
Hear yay, hear yay. All rise.
Now.
Yeah,
you're making the noises. Guess what?
I'm trying. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out because how many more episodes we got left? I'm not sure. We got 3 left,
and we will put our hands up to that. That's actually a thing that we thought there was only 6 episodes, so we put this time in the schedule because we thought this would be the end of the series.
But that's okay. Look, I'm having a kind of hit and miss with it, but only because I want to kind of watch them all back to back. Like sometimes watching things back to back makes a lot more sense, but also I'm having a lot of fun with it because it's short, it's sharp, it gets in, it hits its points. It only, loses points in the sense of so Uncanny Valley is off the chart, but also I'm watching a show about a giant Hulk lawyer. If I'm sitting there complaining about giant Hulk lawyer not looking like human enough, I can just go back to my incest dragon show. For fuck's sake. I'm getting everything I ever wanted as a young nerd. It's like, oh my God, a She-Hulk TV show. This is amazing. And any other thing is I want to see her fight a bit, but that's only because I just want to see some fighting,
I think it's coming.
Yeah, I hope so. Because the stuff that's gone between her and Titania, I think is a bit lacking. But I believe that's just set up because the show isn't really about someone who punches their way to solve problems. This is a show about someone who uses the law. And then we need to show that before it gets broken and she has to punch things or whatever. And it's totally fun. I'm having a lot of fun though. So, I'm going to give it maybe 78. There we go.
Okay.
That's my choice.
There you go.
The hair is amazing. Her hair looks amazing.
I am going to give it an 85. Because like I mentioned, I really wasn't expecting to have such a connection to the stories that were being presented in the show. And it's not like the main story of the week, but it's the micro stories within the serialization of the TV show. Points off for it's still for me a bit clunky in whether it's episodic or serial, and I don't think it really nailed that in like the first 3 episodes. Yeah, maybe the editing was a little bit clunky in that part, but like wildly entertained and loving it.
Nice. I'm really enjoying it, and I like every week I'm super keen for it. Like it's the thing I'm really looking forward to on that Thursday evening, because I'm like, it's fun, it's you know, it's surprising, and I enjoy the ride that we go on. I struggle with the 22-minute episodes. I want more, and I know that they are light and fluffy and fun and fast, but I do find myself at the end of every one going, oh fuck, I just want that next bit, which I know is great, and it's exactly what you want from a TV show, is that it leave you wanting more. But I think partially you're right that maybe it hasn't been quite balancing the episodic and the bigger story. So I find myself, whenever they start introducing the bigger story, which is usually towards the end of the episode or something like that, I'm like, oh, give me more of that. Okay, right, credits. But I had almost exactly the same response with WandaVision. That, you know, it had that, oh shit, I want to know more. So yeah,
I think
though this one's a lot more light-hearted. Sorry, Dave.
So WandaVision had a lot of technical brilliance in it, which made it captivating to watch episode to episode because it changed so much. Whereas this has been a consistent film, like sort of television
Style
thing, and it's got more meat in the storylines and the way that it deals with issues that I quite enjoy. Can I amend my rating?
Yeah,
sure.
I'm going to rate it up to 80. I'm going to add 2 more points to it for lack of Gamma Poodle. Because any Hulk franchise bit that has irradiated animals and is not a Gamma Poodle, as from the original Ang Lee Hulk, gets extra points.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember that? I remember that.
I remember reading stories about that movie before it came out, where they're like, there's a Gamma Poodle in it, and everyone went, fuck off, there is. That's a stupid idea. And then there was a Gamma Poodle, and we were all like,
Gamma Poodle, and everyone's like, what the fuck?
and it's fucking Chopper.
Yes.
So yeah, for me, I'm gonna go 86. It's a lot of fun, and I really want more. And I what I find fascinating about it is the way that it's telling its story. And so quite often we say that thing of, you know, if you don't like a thing, maybe it's not for you. I feel like this may not be for, you know, the crying, salty dude bro tears and stuff like that, but they'd learn a lot if they actually, you know, tried from it. So while it may not be for you, it actually is for you. Right. Let's have a clip. Which one have we got, Dave?
Well, I mean, I can have a little bit of the chit chat between Titania and Jen at the wedding, or I can go for the mid-season kind of trailer that came out for the whole show. Which one do you want? Do you want to see a wedding chat, or do you want to see the mid-season trailer, which kind of explains a few different things?
Maybe the mid-season one.
All right, let's go do it.
So we can look forward to the...
Strength is beauty. Beauty is strength. What makes you beautiful? She-Hulk by Titania.
This is the person who legally outmaneuvered you? Yeah. Why didn't you trademark your own pseudonym?
Why would I? Did Doctor Strange have to trademark his name? Did Thor?
You chose 2 examples of people who use their real names.
I'm still Jennifer Walters. She-Hulk is just a thing that happened to me.
You said you didn't like the name She-Hulk.
I don't. I do admit, though, there are parts of it that I enjoy. The amazing hair, no hangover, being able to walk home at night without being afraid.
You put on your green suit.
Put on my green suit?
Yeah, jolly green yourself. I don't know what you call it.
Hulking out.
Okay, good. Whatever.
Trouble's gonna find you. Weird, unexpected trouble.
Why ain't you answering your mobile phone?
I'll be right back. Life would be so much easier if I was just Jen.
I think you're in a unique position to do some real good. Jen Walters can use the law to help people when society fails them. She-Hulk can help people when the law fails them.
This guy's really kind of doing it for me.
Big energy.
Oh, did you get a ticket for texting? Just say you were texting 911. They can't prosecute.
That isn't what this is, and that's not true.
I don't think you can text 911, but
I think that's half the joke.
also,
dear.
I'm a little bit concerned that Matt Murdock is showing up to be the one to tell Jen how to live her life.
Yeah. Yeah. I can see that. Yeah.
I'm like, oh wow, so it takes a man to tell a woman how she can be both people.
I also really hope that she looks at him and goes, "You have fucked up your life. Like,
Don't take
you
advice
were
from
trying to
this
give me
guy."
fucking advice, and you have fucked up your life, Matthew Murdoch."
Yeah.
Matthew,
Like-
use the full name.
Yeah,
Matthew
oh, yes.
Murdoch. What have you done here?
What's his middle name? You got to get the middle name in there. Then
I
you're
don't
really
know.
in trouble.
Oh yeah, I'm sure it's something Irish sounding, but anyway.
Yeah, this is why I kind of like. I look at the. Oh, hang on, I put the spoiler thing up. Hang on.
Okay.
I know. Sorry. There we go. Wait, hang on. There it is. Bit of spoilers near Madison's wine glass. Okay, so everyone that's come into this show has like to the side of Jen. Like Jen's story, I think, is great. She's supported well. She's going through things. She's actually not really worried about being She-Hulk because she's not doing anything to further her life as She-Hulk. She's just trying to further her life as Jen, which is a very interesting take on all of this. Like She-Hulk is a side thing for her. So I'm curious to see what their transition will be when they go to make it about She-Hulk. Because it always seems it's kind of the reluctant thing. It's almost like the what was that other superhero? It's kind of the way that Superman had been portrayed by, Man of Steel. It's like, I don't want to be She-Hulk.
Yeah.
I want to be a regular person.
Yeah, you kind of see that in that Donny Blaze episode where like all those demons are flying around and Wong gets her help and she's like, well, what do you want me to do about it? And he's like, be a Hulk. And then she's like, oh yeah, wait, I can do this other thing.
Yeah. I whilst I am 6'7" and muscular and stuff like that, thus far haven't actually done much hulking with it.
Exactly, yeah.
Hmm.
So it'll be interesting to see how that flips in the next 3 episodes.
Yeah, because there's a few things that have come up that we've kind of only really kind of touched on. So there was the Wrecking Crew,
Yes.
and
Pretty sure a lot of this is not going to pay off until like the final episode, and then they'll leave you with a it will all conclude in the next season or something.
or She-Hulk will return as a Thunderbolt or something. I don't know.
Ew. Oh no. Oh
they
no.
didn't announce her in that thing.
I don't know.
No,
I
but
want
also,
the
I mean,
I want
there's
the
a lot
West
of people
Coast
they may not have
Adventures.
announced.
Don't you want the West Coast Avengers? I want the West Coast Avengers.
I would like the Great Lakes Avengers.
Yeah.
I mean, we've already got one of them.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Fair enough.
Mr. Immortal, totally Great Lakes Avengers. Come on, it's a thing. We've got the Wrecking Crew, and now at the end of the last episode, we get the introduction of Intelligentsia. And so this is something I wasn't aware of, but Intelligentsia is a big part of the Marvel universe. In the comics, Intelligentsia is essentially the evil Illuminati. A bunch of intelligence-based bad guys all getting together. And some of those, and in the comics, they get together to create the Red Hulk. So,
which everyone is freaking out and think that this Todd guy is going to be Red Hulk.
Oh,
yeah,
that would I could see that. Yeah, and I have a feeling that we're probably going to see the return of a character. Actually, one of my favorite moments from the whole thing is the where they're talking about Abomination, and the Hulk saying, "I was a different person back then." literally a different person.
Yeah.
Because the character that got gamma irradiated blood in their head at the end of the 2008 Hulk movie is also one of the members of Intelligentsia, namely the leader.
No,
And
leader.
he is popping up in something else that they've announced recently. What was that?
So yeah, Tim Blake Nelson's the actor, and I can't Mr. Blue anyway from the thing, and a few people have kind of gone, "Ooh, that's a blue lab." So
Yeah, but he's the villain in the Captain America 4 film.
Oh,
They announced that.
right. And did I see that She-Hulk was also in that?
I don't know.
I don't know. These days there are so many fucking announcements that come out, and it's like, I don't know, there could be all sorts of things.
Yeah, like where's the surprise factor on this? Just let it happen. If it happens, it happens. Like I don't need more things. I just want more stingers at the end of episodes because we got like a good series of 4 stingers?
4, yeah.
And then it was 2 no stinger. There was a couple of nods. Like, I mean, I did like the fashion designer for superheroes side story. That's
who is the guy
fine.
that's from the comic?
Yes.
Apparently.
Yes.
Okay, right.
Like
I wasn't sure that he was so Luke Jacobson.
Yeah, no one's going to beat Edna from The Incredibles, the fashion designer.
He definitely has a very Edna mode vibe about him.
Yeah, like no one's going to beat that. But I mean, it's good enough to have. I mean, what I want to see, and this is just kind of a bit nerdy in the comic sense, is I want to see like Jen Walters defending people or defending superheroes against the government, i.e. Doom. What's the thing control? Damage control. Sorry, I always said Doom Patrol, saying Doom Patrol prosecuting them. No, that's a totally different
Damage
series.
Control.
Yeah, Damage Control prosecuting superheroes for damages that they do, and Jen defending the superheroes, saying, "Well, you know what? That would be interesting to me." But that sounds like more like a season 2 thing.
You got a little bit of it in the Abomination trial, but
yeah,
a
tiny little bit. It's just like I like that this show also seems open to being accessible for smaller characters and different stories. Like none of the things that have happened in this are world ending. None of the stuff in this is like too big for just one person. Like all of the challenges are smaller and more focused, and I find that that's the strength of these kinds of superheroes. Like Daredevil fits in this world because it's just local. I would like to see Luke Cage. I'd like to see, all those kinds of things pop up.
I don't think we'll see much of those guys until the Daredevil Reborn series. I'm happy that we're getting really weird ones like Frogman. That we saw in the trailer, and you're like, okay, cool. Yeah, it's a weird choice, but let's go with that. But I think that's what this has the ability to do. It's kind of like your Suicide Squad stuff. Choose your fucking B-listers, your Z-listers. Bring them in here, have some fun with it.
Yeah.
And who knows, maybe, in season 2, she could be trying to prosecute fucking Kingpin or something like that.
Ooh.
These are the kind of things, and I mean, the thing is, there's so much Marvel around, and the thing I was saying to somebody who said, "Oh, look, I really find this show boring." I was like, "Okay, cool. You find the show boring, but at the same time that we've got this Ally McBeal kind of light, fluffy, fun sitcom, in the next month we get a 1940s style black and white horror." And then a few weeks after that, we get a giant fucking blockbuster of Wakanda Forever. And I love that it can be whatever the fuck it wants to be.
Yeah.
And if you don't like a thing, shit happens. You can jump on the next thing. I think that's very healthy.
I want to say that I was excited to see Mark Linn-Baker playing Jen's dad because I love me some Cousin Larry.
Cousin Larry. Did you do the Dance of Joy?
Oh God, I can't even remember it. But like, does anybody else in the chat remember Perfect Strangers, or is it just my 90s addled brain.
Standing tall on the wings of our dreams. No, I don't remember that at all.
Cousin Balki Bartokomus.
Yeah.
Yes. I like that the chat's like, yes.
Yes. I mean, it's nice to have, people to recognize things, and it gives you a little bit of grounding, especially in this show, because it's so weird and it goes so quickly and it moves fast. Like, that's what I think's a real strength with it. Like, if people aren't kind of catching up to it, like it's actually got a lot of emotional things happening in the show, but it moves very, very fast and kind of feels like it's having a joke. And I always found when I was watching it, I'm like, I feel bad actually. Like, I had a laugh there for a second, but 30 seconds to a minute later, I'm like, oh, I feel bad for that character, which I think is kind of a strength of the show. Like, I wasn't watching it being like, oh, this is really emotional and everyone's very earnest. It's kind of like, oh, no, they're making jokes now. Wait, that was really sad. What? Like, oh God,
catching you off guard here.
What a terrible situation. Oh, they've moved on with it. Okay, they're just going to smile and eat it and move on. Okay, oh good. Oh, that won't go badly later. It's going to go badly later.
What I did love is that we spent however many episodes of WandaVision and Moon Knight and various other things desperately looking for any sign of fucking Mephisto. And then in one episode, Madison walks in and she's like, "Oh yeah, like I met a goat. His name was Jake." But
I have an update for you, Quinny. Mephisto is confirmed.
Ian?
He's the second unlock from the Ghost Rider Spirit of Vengeance HasLab toy that they're making. So if you go to HasLabs, the Marvel Collector's line has come out with a Ghost Rider Spirit of Vengeance car, because apparently he drives a hot rod now, whatever.
Yeah, that's Ray's.
Yeah, they've come up with that. The third character unlock for it, which is when they get their funding, is a Mephisto. As soon as that came out, I was like, Mephisto confirmed.
I just love the idea that Madison went to hell, met a
Sold
goat,
her
sold her
soul
heart
or
and her soul
something.
to a goat, probably hung out with Mephisto, accidentally fell into another thing, and then spoiled The Sopranos for Wongers.
I just feel like that was a great little thing, and then in the second season they can tease like not even a B, but like a C storyline of the fact that Wong has to go to hell to barter for the soul of Madison with Mephisto, and they never show him, and then they just drop him into, I don't know, fucking Captain America 4. He just pops up in the background and walks past and goes to a fridge and gets a beer out and then goes back through a portal, and that was Mephisto. Like, they've got to do it. They know what they're doing now. Everyone knows that everyone is hanging out for fucking Mephisto. I bet you there are Marvel directors pleading, like actually doing deals with Satan to be the one that gets to introduce Mephisto.
I really don't think there is that much to it.
You don't? Oh.
Well, I've got a chart over here, Jill.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to show you. This is how Mephisto
Neil's
gets in
going to
the Marvel
show me
universe.
his red string theory on the weekend.
And his name was Kaiser Soze. Yeah, all right. Fine.
Yes. I'm keen for wherever we're going to go with it. I think there's going to be a whole bunch of good stuff that comes out of it, and there's wonderful characters, and I want them all to do well. That's kind of the thing. I will say, and it's something I forgot to mention before, I think there is one problem at the heart of the show, and I don't know whether it's going to be a problem or whether it's going to be a thing that actually gets paid off properly, but I think Titania isn't working yet. I love Jamila Jalil. I think she's a fucking great actor.
Yeah.
But thus far, I don't know whether it's because they haven't used her enough or they've used her in ways that I wasn't expecting. But I'm like, something's not quite working there.
She's just like the bitch energy that Jen has to deal with. Like, there's always that girl.
Just somebody who, for no particularly good reason, is just bitching at you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, we have some Raiders on. Hello, Raiders. Hello.
Hey.
Yes, Creator Space One has rated us with 4 people. Hello, we're talking about She-Hulk. And how you're finding, Quinny, you're just saying how you were finding Jamila Jamil very disappointing as a character in the show. Shots fired. No, I agree. Like, she's having a great time with it. Like, she is having the best time. I still don't know exactly why, like who she is or why she's important, because I don't have a character backstory to her just yet. She's an influencer who's superpowered, and that's about it. And a bad person. But also,
as Jess Angela says, she's an antagonist who is literally just there to antagonize.
Yeah.
And that's fine, but I especially considering how much of the press for the show was around her, and the social media campaigns and everything. And she was, and I love the fact that Jaleel was saying that she loves that in this role she gets to be big because she is a tall, strong woman, and almost always that you're shown to sit down. Don't be as tall as you are. Don't take up the space that you are allowed to take up. She's fucking loving the fact that she can be big and strong and powerful. And I'm like, God, I wish that there was more of that to let her do that.
That's cool. Yeah.
Look, yeah, maybe we'll get there. Not quite sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure we will. Well, I'm sorry, Raiders. You've come in at a time. You've come in at a time where we're about to wrap up because two of us are quite sick.
Well, yeah. Well, what have we got coming up though? Well, I still want to talk about that because October is a busy fucking month.
Yeah, and we've got nothing planned yet.
Yes, technically we do, because remember we put onto the TP2A Nerd Thread a poll for what people want to see, and the current, and I'm going to close it off at the end of the week, but so far we have Hocus Pocus 2 is high on the list of things that people want to see, as well as Black Adam. And there's a couple of different interesting ones in there. Don't forget though, because everyone's going away to PAX or busy with other stuff that they've got on, including my calendar thing that I'm reading right here, which says water the plants. Thank you. That's very much. Felicity is going away for 6 weeks, and I've been left a series of things going, water our plants. That's good. But on the 11th, don't forget, it's Peter shall have returned, hopefully triumphantly from New York with an Emmy. But we're doing a very special review of Hard Target and On Golden Pond. Yes, yes, the two films that match each other perfectly. Pick who picked each one.
Two great tastes that taste great together.
We're going to call it a Hard Target on Golden Pond. So we're reviewing that on the 11th of October, but around then we've still got the 4th and the 18th and the 25th to work out what's going on. There was, as I said, there was Hocus Pocus 2, there's Black Adam that people have asked for. We still haven't reviewed Andor.
No, there's the Marvel Halloween special that we were just talking about.
Yes, Halloween Ends. Oh yeah, what was that one? There's October, this Halloween. There's the Winchesters.
Amsterdam. Also, Jill and I last night, as somebody in the chat asked, went to see how they run, which I don't know. Actually, didn't check to see whether there was an embargo on that, but I
don't know the date that it comes out.
I think it comes out this week.
Ah,
yeah.
But I will happily give you a review right now, which is go and watch it. It's a lot of fun.
It was great.
And also
super fun.
Someone has asked for something, or people have asked for things Halloween themed around there too. So sure, they suggested The Frighteners or Death Becomes Her or something like that. Sure, we can do an older one. We don't need to. It doesn't have to be current. I'm happy to go anywhere. So let us know. Join in with us. Just drop us a line on Facebook. Join one of the groups. Ask to be included. Send us a voicemail. Anything like that.
Any of those things.
Pop along to PAX.
Yes. I was just going to say, PAX is where it's at, peoples. So I'm going to be hosting the Lenovo Great Debate, which I believe is at 6:30 on the Saturday night.
That's PM, not AM.
Yeah, well, I did say on the Saturday night, but
Oh, sorry. Yeah, we just don't get up early.
It's PAX. It's PAX. It's always best to qualify.
Yeah, don't get up early. Don't get up early for PAX. Sleep in and then turn up late. But yes, so I will be hosting that, and we've got a whole bunch of wonderful people in it. We've got Hex Steph and Nick Boy and Jordan Raskopoulos and a bunch of other names that I can't tell you about just yet.
Surprise.
And I'm not entirely sure whether or not the question of the debate has been released yet, but I will tell you it's about remakes. So remakes and reboots. So this is something that I have some very strong opinions of, which is terrible because I'm the debate master, so I don't get to actually have any fucking strong opinions.
Yes, but you get to control everyone else's.
Yes. And of course, that will be streamed live on the PAX Twitch channel and so forth. So if you are uncertain, go along to the PAX Twitch channel and keep an eye out, and you will find us on one of the big theaters. And I look forward to it.
And perhaps, you know, if you're down there, Quinny, you might be able to like meet up with some people who were there. Say hi.
Are you gonna be there, Jill?
I am going to be there. I'm not hosting anything. I'm just attending. But maybe we can find somewhere to have a cheeky little TPTOA meetup.
I would love that.
Sounds amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, excellent people. You're wonderful people. I'm not jealous at all of you. At all. At all.
At all.
At all.
I also am doing the return of game development as explained by Sock Puppets. So,
which I said
6 years of me doing the voices of Sock Puppets.
Yes.
Yep. It's
So
very healthy.
we'll put up some stuff on social so you can catch up and do things and all that kind of stuff. Amazing.
Yeah, and it'd be lovely to see you and meet you all in real life. And yeah, we will talk more about Crunchyroll and all sorts of things like that another time. But I think if we don't go soon, Jill may die.
Yes.
And we do not want that because she is very, very unwell and we love her a great deal.
Yes.
Thanks, guys.
All I'm going to say is clear, time to go.
Shall we raid Barjo?
Sure, why not?
Because he is currently the only person that is... he's the only person streaming that we know of, so we're going to go and raid Barjo. Thank you,
everyone.
everybody.
You're amazing. We'll see you all next time. Bye.
Bye.
I wanna live in a world full of heroes, not sit here counting zeros in a cubicle downtown. I wanna look out my window, see 'em flying, and swing across the horizon as I cheer 'em on so proud. The powered girl keeps staring at her face, and call Colossus and have him teach me ways, and then we'd exercise. I'd be one of the guys. But martial arts from Iron Fist and Wall, I'll dance her up and teach her all my songs. Oh, I wanna live in a world full of heroes, not cooking up these heroes at my parents' restaurant now. I wanna yell out adventures.